Okay, you all come and hit the like, hit the share button, and I want to live stream today. I'm listening to this interview from Damon Wilson, aka we know him as Lamont Sandford from Sanford and Son, right? Lamont Sandford and Sanford and Son, and he's revealing so much in this interview. You know, big secrets. Well, not secrets, but insider information about what goes on in Hollywood. He also says that anyone that made it as an actor, right? If you have a big name in Hollywood as an actor, that you had to bend over. And he said that's just not black, it's Latino. But I'm going to let you all listen to the interview and we're going to break it down. It's a little bit after lunchtime. But the reason why I decided to live stream on this particular topic today and not focus on Bitcoin on this one is because in 2018, when I was doing credit repair, I purchased this book titled Give Yourself Credit, Money Does Not Grow on Trees, right? This book was deeper. I went deep down the rabbit hole than I expected to go by reading this book because I really thought it was just some insider information to make. Because at that time, I was known as the queen of credit and credit repair. And I thought it was just some inside information to make me better with credit repair. But as I got into the rabbit hole and began to read this book, I found out it was much more deeper than that. So have you ever asked yourself for the question, for example, why is it that your bank account statements, all of your bills, whether it be your utility bills, your credit cards, why is it your birth certificate, your driver's license, why is it that your name is written in all capital letters? With this book and Lamont Sandford, Damon Wilson breaks this down. And so I'm going to read this. It says, no money exists to pay debt. All demands for payment are demands for money. Since no money exists, all you have is your signature and your exemption ID number to pay a debt. That's considered your SSN, your social security number. In fact, I know that we're in the era of 2023 where we don't even use checks anymore. But when I was into credit repair and how credit repair is, or your credit score really is a scam, and so is cash and fiat currency system. I let me see, can I pull it up? I used to break down the signature line on all checks when you sign. No one had really paid attention to that, and so it's not like banks actually check your signature anyway. But your signature line on a check, if you still do it the old school way of writing out checks, right? It reads this: authorized signature. You have to see it maybe with a microscope. It reads authorized signature. It's not a solid line. Authorized signature, authorized signature, authorized signature. Some of the things I learned in the credit game, right? So why does it say that? Because that means you can be signing tiny terms and conditions all the time and not even know it because you're not signing your name in all caps. So, and it's not big enough. And he even talks about the matrix. So you are signing, right? And some of them had authorized signature or original document in small print on the check line. If you still have checks, go check your check. So you're signing into agreements because number one, you're not signing with your all caps signature. And number two, you don't know what agreement that they have. So Pauletta says they made made us into a corporation. Thank you, Pauletta. Thank you for coming in. And you all make sure you hit the thumbs up and the like button as well. And for right now, we're going to listen to this interview. This is from Comedy Hype, an interview of Lamont Sandford, aka Demond. I keep saying aka. Well, did you all know? This is just a little known fact that I didn't know, but listen to the interview. That his name is really Grady Demond Wilson, where they get the character Grady Wilson from, or where they got the character Grady Wilson from Sanford and Son. So his name is Demond Wilson. Let me make sure I'm at the point, but Grady Demond Wilson. So he just go by Demond. And that was a little known fact. I still watch Sanford and Son. I still love Sanford and Son. But yeah, but we're going to go into the Matrix, the rabbit hole, all of that. Yes, we are all under contract, and most people don't know it. All right, let's listen in. You all hit the thumbs up so the algorithm can notify others that I'm live streaming.
Studio from the Mirish brothers came to New York, and he cast me in my first major motion picture, The Organization, with Sidney Poitier. And that's why when I first came to California, we shot it in San Francisco, and people saw the dailies and they liked my work. And so I said, oh, you know what? I'm going to move out there because I'm getting a lot of offers and I don't want to be doing this bi-coastal thing. So I moved to California and I did Mission Impossible and a couple of TV spots, and then All in the Family. And then I got a phone call from Bud Yorkin, and he asked me if I wanted to do a series with Red Foxx. So I've never been a part of any of that nonsense. I don't respect those people. I don't care about that. I'm, you know, I told you I had connections. Nobody was gonna say nothing to me.
I get it. And it made me think when you just said kind of the comment about some of the people that we've known in the industry and what they might have to do to get to the top. Can you give me
all of them? All of them. You name your biggest black actors, you name your biggest white actors, you name your biggest female Latino actresses, they all have to do it. A blood oath. Now you bend over. Now.
So let me pause right there. He said all of them have to do it. You name your biggest black actor or actors, biggest Caucasian, Latino, they all have to do it. It's a blood oath. Bend over. And I think this information, I believe this information stops people from glamorizing people in big positions. My favorite actor, and my favorite, even with the TD Jakes thing going on, your favorite pastor. And I'm not judging. I'm saying at the end of the day, people are human and they will do things, especially when you get to those elite levels, to put their talent on the level that they feel like, or to keep their talent. And he broke down Hollywood and the wood in Hollywood on that elite level so they don't get blackballed. Because we worship and glamorize people in high positions because of their gifts and their talents. And you don't know what they have to go through or have gone through in order to stay on that platform, to stay relevant, to stay famous, to stay wealthy. Right? Okay, here we go.
Now, every orifice that you have. So I've never been a part of any of that nonsense. I don't respect those people. I don't care about that. I'm, you know, I told you I had connections. Nobody was gonna say nothing to me.
I get it. And it made me think when you just said kind of the comment about some of the people that we've known in the industry and what they might have to do to get to the top. Can you give me
all of them? All of them. You name your biggest black actors, you name your biggest white actors, you name your biggest female Latino actresses, they all have to do it. A blood oath. Now you bend over. Now, every orifice that you have is going to be annihilated. You want the short and the long of it? No, I'm not giving you no names.
No.
It's out there. If you do your research, you can find out who it is.
We've covered a couple conversations, but I feel like you'll be the best person for this question right here. Is there a ritual attached to seeing Black men in dresses when it comes to, I know it started around Flip Wilson time and probably before then. What's the ritual that's happening?
I told you now, listen, remember what Granddaddy told you when I first sat down here about Norman Lear.
Sure.
The dissolution of the patriarchal system. Now you got all these guys, they take your humanity from you. You know how the feminist movement has categorized men. I think that what was his name? Samuels. He just died recently. Had the podcast. There was the women hated. Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels, yes.
Kevin Samuels was eliminated because they didn't want to go back to that. They want these women ignorant and twerking. They want kids running around the street. If they don't pay the income tax, they put them in the penitentiary and they get their money out of them that way.
Now that was powerful as well. For my men that follow me. Thank you, Ocean Soul says like and subscribe. He said the reason why they took Kevin Samuels out, because they want women ignorant. They didn't want women. They want women twerking in the streets. They don't want the women that are educated about how to get these six-figure men, how to not value, right, your status quo. Come on, my man. I know the men are gonna be so glad I'm saying this out loud. But Kevin Samuel was also on the men as well, but I'm gonna stay on the women. Right? He was also on just as high expectations for the men as well, to be men and providers and protectors and parents. But yeah, he did, but Kevin Samuels was on the women as well. Nothing wrong with your degrees and LLCs, women, and 6-figure and 7-figure income. But don't dismantle a man at the end of the day. Don't discredit your need for a man in your life. The twerking, yeah. So, man, I want to rewind this or revisit it for the men that's on my live stream right now. Let's go. I'm excited about this live stream. Let's go.
He just died recently. Had the podcast. There was the women hated. Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels, yes.
Kevin Samuels was eliminated because they didn't want to go back to that. They want these women ignorant and twerking. They want kids running around the street. If they don't pay the income tax, they put them in the penitentiary and they get their money out of them that way. It's like I said, we live in a matrix. Your driver's license, if you take it out of your wallet, has your name in capital letters. Your birth certificate, your passport, name is in capital letters. Black people don't question that.
So I'm definitely going to pause right there. We're going to watch the remaining of this. That your name, as he said, Black people don't question it. And capital letters. Your passport, your driver's license, your bills. So many people have their bills set up on electronic delivery now, right? Even your paychecks, if you still get paychecks and you don't have direct deposit. Your birth certificate. Let me read from this book. I'm telling you all, when I read this book, this was eye-opening for me. This was game-changing for me. So you have a bond. We each have a bond, a trust fund set up for us for us upon our birth via our registration of live birth. Someone had to tell us what our name is. Our parents was already involved in the public domain. They wanted little no name, which is us, to have access to public benefits, and they enjoyed and provided by the public, that they enjoy and are provided by the public domain. They had to give you a title. Your application for live birth assigned at the place at the dock for you to birth. This is BERTH, not BIRTH. BERTH. Your vessel in your port of entry, and a name. Remember, you have to get your footprint when you are born, right? And your name and footprint is your birth mark, BERTH. Sometimes people have a distinguished scar or something on it, and they will say that's their birthmark, but it's way more than that, right? It is way more than that. So when your footprint at the time of your birth, right, that's your birthmark. Forensic evidence of your arrival into this commercial domain that some also refer to as the matrix, the earth realm. A title such as John, for example, that's written in all caps, JOHN, creates a fiction person. This is also known as a straw man, right? A straw man. All vessels or dead people are titled in all caps, names. So this is equal to a ship giving birth, a ship birthing or carrying precious cargo, especially, during the transatlantic slave trade. The ship was carrying our ancestors in most cases and people of Jewish descent. So the one world government, I've been telling you how we're moving to a one world, new world financial system as well. But the one world government has always been here. It has always existed from the beginning of the world. They set up an account and gave it a reference number. Your birth certificate is material evidence in the commercial domain you exist. It is a prepaid exemption account, a prepaid credit exemption account. All participants in the public domain are pooled in this account, and it is assessed through your social security number. This is why I'm so big on studying numbers. That's why when I say men lie and women lie, but numbers don't lie, numbers don't lie. Numbers track you and trace you. Not just produce, not just a barcode on your favorite, like this, water I drink, right? This is what your footprint is on your birth certificate and what your social security number is. 9 digits. I break down the number 9, which means the completion of a thing, the finality of a thing. And this is why I always told people I did not have this conversation just to seem like I was the most intelligent person in the room. This is why I was telling people when I was doing credit repair, you should not be operating under your social security number, your SSN number. You should be operating under a tax ID or a corporation number because you are a corporation to the United States. Why would you do business in your SSN? Why would you get credit cards under your SSN? Why would you sign mortgages, mortiers, which is root for mortician, which means death, under your SSN and not a trust? I can end this live stream right now because that just probably went over some people's head. buying a home in a trust versus your SSN, getting your credit cards and your business entity, even your tag, because you have to pay taxes anyway. When I learned the power of getting my tag under my business entity and not me, not my personal entity, not the name that my mother gave me or the social security number that was assigned to me. Do you know that you get stopped less by the cops? What if our young men that's getting pulled over by the cop and harassed, what if their vehicles was under a business entity and not a personal entity? Now you all should like this video just because of that. So let me read. Any interchange for value between people is recorded in a trust that is automatically set up. The one world government is a trustee of the trust, and each individual person is a beneficiary of the trust. A certain sum, a sum deemed the value of your life work. So it starts out at $1 million is the commercial value of your credit in this commercial domain. $1 million. That's why I have millionaires moves at the back. That's why I would tell people, and people think I'm just, giving them motivational words and phrases, that you were born a millionaire. In fact, in the Bible, in Revelation, it says you were born rich. Your Social Security, your birth, BRTH, is worth $1 million at birth. Right? $1 million at birth. So let me go on. A debt has to only be discharged. The word pay is equivalent with silver and gold or some sort of substance like a firstborn lamb, which requires an execution of work to remove the liability for the execution of debt that otherwise must take place. So, first of all, money has to be a thing of substance. Silver and gold, something that has intrinsic value. And that's why this book is titled Give Yourself Credit. Give yourself credit. But I was telling people you need to give yourself credit under a corporation, not your SSN. Because just having this knowledge and not making those adjustments, it's just being the smartest person in the room. But you're still playing the wrong game. Just having the knowledge of this, but you still have things financed under your SSN. You have not made yourself a corporation. You're playing the wrong game. In fact, if you have a job or you know someone that has a job, why do you think they call human resources the place that you go for complaints or anything about your pay or anything about your leave of absence or sick or vacation days? Why do you think that is called human resources? Because you are a human resource to the government. That's why you go to HR. But you don't know that you're a human resource. And so with this being said, you cannot pay a bill with a bill. What do you think they call cash? A dollar bill, a $20 bill, a $100 bill. You cannot pay a bill with a bill. You cannot pay a debt with a debt. I don't have physical cash on me right now in this live stream, right? But it says right on cash. This is a legal tender. It is a note. You cannot pay a bill with a bill, cash in your bank account to pay your other bills. You cannot pay debt with the debt. The cash monetary system is a debt right now. It's a legal tender for all notes. It is a debt note. It tells right on the cash. Cash used to read gold and silver certificate. This is all I have in front of me. It used to have an emblem on there. It did not used to say this debt is a legal tender for all. This note rather is a legal tender for all debt. This is silver. This is a silver dollar bill. $1, a silver certificate. So on the cash bill, it says this, it still says certificate, I believe. This certificate is a legal tender for all debts paid public and private. So you can't pay a bill with the bill. You can't pay a debt with the debt. You need a bond to pay a bill. And that's what your public policy does. Public policy is the bond with the promise to pay all charges accepted for payment. If a debt is this, the best we can do is to write it off. But that can only be done if we return a bill to its maker via the IRS as our mutual offset credit exemption exchange. Now, there's a House public law that says the policy to pay a debt with debt instrument, which is cash. Cash is credit, right? So therefore, one's order for credit, one's bill, cash bill, needs to be accepted and returned to the presenter directly to the IRS. So people, your name is your bond. Many people think that when our money was taken away from society, that people became slaves to the New World Order or the one world government system. But this is not true. People voluntarily chose to be so. And so as a child, let's think about this. You had an imaginary friend. You may be surprised to learn that the evidence exists that you had a make-believe twin from the time your mother and father permitted a birth certificate to be applied for in your name. This make-believe friend is not real. If you have ever been around children, they used to always tell you they got a make-believe friend. I don't know if they do that anymore, but up to age 7, because at the age of 7, your developmental, your mindset changes. That's why 7 is the number of divine transition. That's why things happen at 14, you were considered a teenager. At 21, you're considered a young adult. 7 years increments. But up to the age of 7, children will tell you, I have an imaginary friend. What's your friend name? Right? Well, the make-believe friend is not real but artificial. It is a straw man, an artificial entity that has a name very similar to yours. Here is a definition of a straw man. A third party who is put up in the name only to take part in the transaction. This is Black Law's Dictionary, right? The term straw man also refers to as commercial and property context that is then transferred to, or it is when a transfer is made to a party. So simply put, it is the purpose of transmitting to the transferor in order to accomplish some purpose that was not otherwise permitted. So in layman's terms, what is a straw man, Queen? Well, it is an artificial person created by law shortly after you were born via your birth certificate registration of the application of your birth certificate, and the name of your straw man is in all capital letters, all caps. The inscription of on your birth certificate is also your name in all caps. The English language have precise rules about your straw man, right? Or grammar that makes no provision. So your name spelled with all cap is a fictitious name. The all cap name is not your true name, which consists of your given name or your Christian name, plus the surname of your family name. The all caps version of your name is a trade name, the name under which you do business with in commerce. Your trade name, not even the name that you sign on that check. That's why it has to have authorized signature in small print if you still do business with checks. Actually, I'm about to write a check in a few minutes to pay my corporate taxes. So I still do business with checks. So the straw man is a human being, an entity such as a corporation that is recognized by law as having the rights and duties of a human being. And so let me finish playing that. You are a corporation, a citizen of the government, and that your birth certificate upon your birth is worth millions. So then the question is, why are you broke? Why are you broke? Why are you doing business on your SSN? All right, let's go.
Evan Samuels was eliminated because they didn't want to go back to that. They want these women ignorant and twerking. They want kids running around the street. If they don't pay the income tax, they put them in the penitentiary and they get their money out of them that way. It's like I said, we live in a matrix. Your driver's license, if you take it out of your wallet, it has your name in capital letters. Your birth certificate, your passport, name is in capital letters. Black people don't question that. That means that there's two yous. There's you, the person, and you, the corporation. And you, the corporation, is going to pay America. Presidents have no power, and voting doesn't put a man in any office. They're placed there to do a certain job. They have an agenda that they have to adhere to. So running to the polls is not going to matter. They want people like they are right now, polarized. The difference between Biden and Trump is that one is the flip side of the other. And they got the people running back and forth, back and forth. They got all kinds of genocidal things taking place. That Bill Gates said it. We got to do away with 3 billion people. He's been doing it in Africa, been doing it in India. And black people running to the poll talking about, we got to vote in, got to get someone, get him in there, change everything. It's nothing going to change, and it's not going to go back. When I wrote The New Age Millennium 26 years ago, I spoke about everything that's going on now. Now you can.
I'm going to elaborate on that because I told my family, I said, I'm not voting anymore. I did enough research and I found out that presidents are selected, not elected, and that they was going to have in office whoever they want to fulfill their time or their purpose. And my aunt made a comment and said, I thought you graduated from college. Like, wow. I did before. He's even going to get into the education system. So I'm going to let him explain. And I get it that, especially in the brown community, that we want to talk about voting because of our ancestors, and they died and shed blood and they fought for a right to vote because they felt like this is our only way out, is to get someone in high political power that can change the rules and games for us. But now you it's enough knowledge and information out here where you can change the rules and games for yourself. Democrat, Republican, red, blue, no difference from blood and Crips on the street per se, except in higher officials, they just sleep in the same bed. Like, left wing, right wing, same jet, private jet. They're not fighting like they put out and publicize on the live vision. They're not doing that. And because so many people, even low income, poor working class, middle class, are believing in, just like they do in religion, believe in the pastor and not in God, or believe in a president and not in God and not in the God within, they never come to their full potential in this earth realm or find their true purpose because they want to be dependent on someone else for their success. Now, I believe in networking and collaborative success. I do. But I also believe that you have to, as Michael Jackson say, looking at them, or said, that's a whole other thing we could talk about. Look at the man in the mirror. You have to go within to produce things that are external of you. You have to go internal. The kingdom of heaven is within you. So, right. I agree. So let's finish this interview.
Place that Bill Gates said it. We got to do away with 3 billion people. He's been doing it in Africa, been doing it in India. And black people running to the poll talking about, we got to vote in, got to get someone, get him in there, change everything. It's nothing going to change, and it's not going to go back. When I wrote The New Age Millennium 26 years ago, I spoke about everything that's going on now. Now, you can call me a sage, you can call me a prophet, you can call me Negro Damas, whatever you want to call me, but all of the stuff in the book is everything that's happening now. Black people laughed at me. They said, what Lamont know about that? That's conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy, but it ain't no theory. And now they're scrambling, running back and forth, fighting each other. I said, this is not a gender war. It's not a political war. It is a spiritual warfare. People better wake up. This ain't going back. It ain't going back no place. It doesn't matter who sits in the Oval Office. Presidents have no power. They can only do what they're told to do. The educational system, I spoke about it before. The Rockefellers bought the educational system at the turn of the century. And they said, we're going to put curriculums in there to teach people how to be minions, servants of us. That's what the whole thing was about. Kids that go to prep school, private prep school, they go to Harvard and Yale and Oxford, don't have the same education that people go to HMCU universities have.
So in conclusion.
Now, he dropped some information on that. He dropped some gems on that one. Even though he said HMC, he was trying to say HBCU. You don't get the same education as they get at Yale. Oh, let me see if I finish playing this. Hold on. Because he tells you why. And then what they're teaching them versus what they're teaching at other colleges and Ivy Leagues. How they're teaching them to be entrepreneurs, but they teach you to be employees at other colleges and universities. Let me make sure I didn't skip over that part.
In the Oval Office, presidents have no power. They can only do what they're told to do. The educational system, I spoke about it before. The Rockefellers bought the educational system at the turn of the century. And they said, we're going to put curriculums in there to teach people how to be minions, servants of us. That's what the whole thing was about. Kids that go to prep school, private prep school, that go to Harvard and Yale and Oxford don't have the same education that people go to HMCU universities have.
So in conclusion,
let me finish, brother. The people that go to those illustrious universities come from wealth, and they're being educated to run the world, not work for it. No.
Okay. In conclusion, the men.
Ooh, mic drop. He said they are being educated. They are being educated to run the world, to control the world, to control the world. Let me make sure I got that quote right. Let's replay it.
Education that people go to HMCU universities have.
So in conclusion,
let me finish, brother. The people that go to those illustrious universities come from wealth, and they're being educated to run the world, not work for it. No.
Okay, I had to get that quote correct. They are being educated to run the world, not work for it. And it's so sad that I'm telling people about this financial system reset. Because just likewise, like he said, they're being taught to how to run the world and not work for it. The right is right there in the wall that we're changing to a financial system reset. And people are still struggling for cash, right? This certificate is legal tender for our debts charges. It just means right now that the United States has identified their paper cash as a legal payment for debts when tendered to a creditor. But however, there is no federal statute mandating that a private business, a person, or an organization must accept a currency or coins for payments of goods or services. If you're a private business, you are free to develop your own policies, whether you want to accept cash or not, unless there's a state law in your state that says otherwise. So, for example, you're at a gas station or a movie theater or convenience store. They may refuse to accept cash or currency or cash over $20 as their policy. Now, this is not a substitute for professional legal advice. I'm telling you, this live stream does not create an attorney-client relationship, nor is it any type of solicitation to offer legal advice. I'm not, right? I just want to make that disclaimer. If you go right now to any professional sporting event, they don't accept cash. But when I tell people we're moving to a digital currency system, it's like if I was talking to people in the 1930s and telling them, hey, they're not going to accept your gold anymore for monetary. They're not going to accept God's money. Government is going to make its own money and replace. Those people in the 1930s would have thought I was dumbfounded. Like, there's no way. Everyone knows that gold and silver is real money. It's even in the Constitution, woman. What you talking about? They can't make a fake paper monopoly money and write and decorate it and have nice design and think that we're going to believe that it's real money. See, that's what happened on the Titanic. The Titanic did not want a Federal Reserve Act. The rich and wealthy people of the Titanic, they knew what an asset was and a liability. And, the Titanic, except for J.P. Morgan, it just so happened to crash into an iceberg and kill those rich and wealthy people that would have not allowed it to happen. So now I'm telling people, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, Ethereum, the smart contract, the brain of this, all of these alternative coins. We're moving to a fourth industrial revolution. People are like, oh, Bitcoin is a scam. It's been around since 2009. Cash is a scam too. It really is because it's lost 98% of its purchasing power since 1971. And what happened in 1971 is President Nixon removed cash from being backed by gold, which is real money. Then they had to say, they said, we have to have a commodity. Oh, and then it's okay. We want to make Saudi Arabia accept our cash as exchange for their oil. So that's why it's what they call it petrodollar. But guess what? It's not called a petrodollar anymore. It's not backed by real world wealth, intrinsic value, like silver and gold, things that man cannot make the value. So that's why we're moving to another financial system. And with the United States, $33 trillion and counting in debt. They just want to bankrupt this whole cash system now. But a lot of people are going to be caught holding the bag. And it's going to offset them for years. Their 401ks are going to put retirement account. The little extra stash of thousands that they may have saved up is going to be worthless. Now you say, no, I'm playing, that don't happen. Well, it already happened in Argentina. It was cash of Argentina's money on the streets in wheelbarrows. People stole the wheelbarrow and dumped the cash. Their cash is in Venezuela, I'm sorry, Argentina. Venezuela is even prettier than the United States. It's just a piece of paper. In fact, I have more of these. And guess what? I use one of them to write some notes on. I got these from Miami when I went to a Bitcoin conference years ago to learn about what this new monetary technology system was. That's why I don't allow people who don't invest their time reading and researching to convince me otherwise. See, one of them I needed to write um, some numbers on. You probably can't see the writing like that. I just wrote on it, just a piece of paper. They had all of these that was deemed as real currency in Venezuela. All right, so let's get into the Social Security card. You all, again, you all hit the thumbs up. You
Is any
in
card, plate,
now.
coupon book, or other
So
credit
what you want to
device
do with your straw
existing for
man
the
is you
purposes of
don't want to
obtaining
own it,
money, property, labor, or
you want to
services on
control it,
credit.
right? Let me make sure I
Whenever you
say it.
go
Let's
to the
get into the
dealership
Social
and get a car,
Security card. It's
they
not that
ask you for
it
your
is.
ID, your social security number. What is a card that you use to obtain money, property, labor, or services? You use your social security number. You use your driver's license. Top two, you are extending the credit. The credit starts with you. If you look at 15 U.S. Code 1602L in the Truth in Lending Act, let me pull it up for you. The definition of a credit card is any card, plate, coupon book, or other credit device existing for the purposes of obtaining money, property, labor, or services on credit. Whenever you go to the dealership and get a car, they ask you for your ID, your social security number. What is a card that you use to obtain money, property, labor, or services? You use your social security number. You use your driver's license. Top two, you are extending the credit. The credit starts with you. If you look at 15,
The credit starts with you. You are extending the credit. You're not receiving it. It's your human resource. It's your human labor. You are the $1 million person. You, you. So why are you operating under your SSN and not a corporation or at least a tax ID number? Now, all caps name business corporation that the bank presumes you to be. Again, if you still use checks, because I have a checkbook right here. Well, it was right there. I must have just moved. I just saw it. I get it after the live stream. The microprint signature is not a line; it's printed words. Some of the finest printing you'll ever encounter. It says something like authorized representative. I showed this earlier for the people that's just not coming in on your checks. Authorized representative in small caps. In the corporate world, only the authorized representative of a corporation. People, you are already a corporation. It just depends on which entity you want to operate on. Has the authority to sign the corporation's check. So you, the human being, have been given the authority to sign the checks of your money, your trust, your straw man, and incorporated fiction. Now, let me get on this. United States coins and currency, including Federal Reserve notes, which is cash, from the Federal Reserve banks and national currency are legal tender for all debts, public charges, taxes, and dues. Foreign gold or silver coins were no longer considered legal tender. In the same letter, Associate General Counsel, right? According to the law, Federal Reserve notes or circulating notes of Federal Reserve banks are legal tender exchangeable for Federal Reserve notes. Circulating notes on the Federal Reserve banks. These are promissory notes. They are legal tenders used by banks every day. Promissory notes are legal tender for everyone to use for the payment of public and private debt. So you will see that on your cash. Promissory notes represents the right of the holder to enforce the notes promised against the government of the United States. Now, no state shall, this is Article 1, Section 10, Clause 1 of the Constitution. Let me say that again. This is Article 1, Section 10, Clause 1 of the Constitution for the United States of America. Also, United States of America is a corporation, it's not a country. So that's why you have to act in the correct corporation as well. For the United States of America and the Constitution of the United States, no state shall make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts. So what do you think? Now, this means that Congress borrows money substitutes. And so now, what do you think when this currency system reset happened, when we convert from cash to crypto? Money has to be used to reset the currency system. Silver and gold. That's what the Wizard of Oz exposed. I told you all my last night live stream. These movies that you and these fables and fairy tales that you think is just fairy tales and fables. What most people think is fake is real. It's what the Matrix out is about. And what most people think is real is fake. Most people think silver and gold is not money. They think they're cash and dollar bills is, and it's not. That's why it's called fiat, because it's fake. So what do I do? Well, you take, right, your cash and you get tangible real world assets. That even includes converting it into the new digital currency system. Now, some more thing about your social security card, which is a credit card. I'm about to log off because I need to go and go to the gym. Show you all another short video on this as well.
basically says your child is a property of the state. Go research and educate yourself about the birth certificate and the social security card. We've been lied to for. Tell me your thoughts and opinions. The social security card and the birth certificate, by their law, basically says your child is a property of the state. Go research and educate yourself about the birth certificate and the social security card. We've been lied to for. Tell me your thoughts and opinions. The social security card and the birth certificate, by their law, basically says your child is a property of the state. Go research and educate yourself about the birth certificate and the social security card.
And you have been lied to. And to be honest, you know, when people see somebody like that, right, that they feel that they're not well groomed or haven't shaved, they take those people as, you know, crazy. Right. They take them as crazy. So I'm gonna show you something a little bit more smooth cut. I take religious people as crazy. I've never seen people believe in something for so long and never experience it. I'm like, you haven't manifested anything and you won't look at that God is within you, or John 10:34 that says you are God's, lowercase g. You won't try a different way to connect with God than what you've been taught in the religious institutions? Because obviously your way is not working. You're still struggling. And I say this all the time, all of the rich and wealthy people in the Bible, and yet a large mass amount of churchgoers are still broke. Or even people that just do spirituality. Why? The Bible says Abraham was very rich in livestock, gold, and silver. In fact, Ruth? Ruth was the first millionaire in the Bible. Then we got Queen of Sheba. She was rich. Then we got Isaac and Jacob, and we got Job, who lost everything he had. And God blessed them back with double. And these people, they never question, why am I struggling financially? Because you don't want to learn the laws of money and prosperity. You don't. You want hocus pocus. You want money to appear mysteriously in your mailbox, fall out the sky. You don't want to keep updated about the economy. You don't want to learn about our monetary system. In fact, let me finish reading this. Since 1933, you and your credit and the credit of all other Americans have been pledged as collateral for the debt of the corporate United States without your knowledge or consent. Why 1933? Because that was the Great Depression. There was a financial system reset as well. Well, this is the second Great Depression, where we're transitioning from cash to crypto. 1933 was a transition from coins to cash, from gold and silver to paper fiat currency. In fact, it was a law passed in 1933 that any citizen who owned gold, if they did not turn in all their gold to the government, they will have 10 years in jail and or a $10,000 fine. They made it illegal for people to have real money then. And so since it's never been taught in schools and people won't do their own due diligence and research, they don't even know this part of history about money. John 8:32 says, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. The truth, the truth, the truth. Okay, last one to give you a more clean cut video, right? Clean cut video. If you're watching this on a replay, hit the thumbs up. If you're watching it live now, hit the thumbs up as well. Thank you in advance.
Let's see what's going on here.
In order to ensure air quality, this call may be monitored and or recorded at any time. Thank you. Resolution Department, this is Velvet. How may I assist you?
Yes, I was just checking to make sure that my account was ready.
I'm sorry, that your account is ready?
Yeah, or confirmed.
As far as what exactly? Are you calling to see if you have any debts on file?
Yes.
Okay, let me get you to customer service. One moment, please.
Okay.
Check Services Incorporated. To access your information, please have your driver's license, routing and account number, and a pen and paper available. Please hold for the next available customer service representative. Your call may be monitored or recorded. Please wait. Thank you for calling Telecheck. Your call may be recorded or monitored for quality purposes. Thank you for calling Telecheck. My name is Jackson. How can I help you?
Yes, I was trying to check my account and make sure that it was ready. Can I give you my routing number and my account number?
No problem. May I please have those numbers? Yes.
All right. My routing number is 0517361558, and my account number is, and the name on the account is.
All right, thank you. Let me just go ahead and try to pull up any information in our system. All right, if you apologize, but I'm unable to locate any records or any files. Correct me if I'm wrong. Your routing account number would be 051-736-158-7. Is that correct?
The first part was my routing number, and the second part was my account number. So the routing number was 0517361558, and my account number was 5.
Well, thank you so much. That is the information I got from you earlier. Upon checking, sir, I'm unable to locate any information. The reason would be you haven't yet made any transactions with our merchant. For you to have a record in our system, all you have to do is do a transaction first with our merchant. Just to remind you that we're only check guarantee company. So whatever transactions that you're trying to do with our merchants, and for you to have a record, first you'll have to do a transaction first with our merchants for you to have a record, and first to check your account information in our system.
First, all right. So is one of y'all merchants Amazon?
Yes.
I tried with Amazon and it didn't go through. So I was just trying to make sure that my account was the one with the all caps, my business account.
And see if you already made. May I ask, when did you make a transaction?
You said, what date did I make the transaction?
Yes.
Actually, I made it today and about an hour ago.
All right. For me also ask, have you already tried to reprocess the transaction before the first attempt?
Yes, I was just trying to make sure that it was in my all caps business account.
The transaction simply did not meet the acceptance guidelines that Telecheck has established. This include that your check writing history and frequency, the check number, the check amount, as well as many others. Please be aware that all future checks or transactions will be evaluated for approval at the time they are presented. We regret any inconvenience this may have caused you. Since you mentioned this is the first time you made a transaction with Amazon, that explains a lot why our system wasn't able to recognize your transaction due to lack of history.
So you all can know what that is. The transactions, right? That he was doing the business under access. The letter C is called a letter C account and the ACH code. So even those red digits, and this probably going on some people's head, but I just decided to include it anyway. Even those red digits on the back of your social security card is worth millions. Just flip the back of it. Not just the 9 digits that you were born with. And so you create trust accounts with them. And I had to explain it to people. I'm like, you don't even, and most people know about building business credit, right? They knew about business credit, but they didn't even know that they could get credit without using their SSN or the benefits of it. Okay. Now, one thing that I'm not like, I know some people have their children born outside of the system on the SSN. I'm not into reconverting my birth certificate over when I could just do business under a corporation. The reason why I'm not doing it because a lot of people, they live like a pauper. They live in poverty. They're outside the system, but they live poor. I don't want that life when I can just operate under LLC, S Corp, or C Corp. And that's what I choose to do. I'm not doing it. Some people go years and they're trying to chase getting out of the system, but you have to get hired for jobs. You have to do commerce. You have to do business. Once you don't want to provide the information and earn the fake, the real assets, it's not worth it to me. I'm just being honest. Now, I'm ending this live stream. I've been telling you all about the Kobe Bryant crypto. I told you all that if you wanted to get that information, and that's not the name of it. So please don't go Google Kobe Bryant crypto, right? That is not that's what I call it because it is connected to Kobe Bryant in so many ways. Now, with this year being the year of 2024, if you are a sports fan, even if you're not, you can Google this. You can find more information about Kobe Bryant and his well-known philosophy of the Mambas mentality. Now, if you don't know, China is also the financial powerhouse right now. China is the country that's spearheading the BRICS nation to dump the United States dollar, right? China is the country that's going to invoke World War III and bring in and cancel out that's what the war is going to do, cancel out the current paper monetary system. Kobe Bryant had big ties to China. He had big ties to China. He was the first player to realize, and the pharmaceutical company. In fact, Kobe was so well known in China, he said it's harder to walk around in China than the United States. So you see my Cash App at the bottom. See, this is the part where you lose people when you ask them to invest in knowledge. And I just told you that knowledge is more powerful than that cash anyway, right? $25 if you want this particular crypto, because this particular crypto is about to be launched. It's a Web3 technology. The AI has predicted that this is going to be a big investment, and it's about to be launched on the Solana and the Ethereum crypto blockchain. And right now you can get it for a matter of, it's under $1, under 50 cents. I can say it that way. And so even with Kobe Bryant, it's always interesting to me that he and Dr. Miles Monroe, if you like to study great philosophers, you know about Dr. Miles Monroe. If not, Google him on YouTube, because Dr. Miles Monroe was against religion as well. And Kobe Bryant and Dr. Miles Monroe died the same, and Dr. Miles Monroe's wife was with him. Both died in Kobe in a plane crash, Dr. Miles Monroe in a helicopter crash. But actually in 2017, this is why I tell you all to watch The Simpsons as well. They predictions always come true. Right? So it's not prophecy in a lot of times, it's prediction. His helicopter crash in 2017 was predicted.
Oh, shit! It's Kobe Bryant!
Help me.
Just pass me the trophies and we'll pull you out.
Pass.
These were Shaq's anyway. It's Kobe Bryant. Help me. Just pass. Oh, shit. It's Kobe Bryant. Help me. Just pass me the trophies and we'll pull you out. Pass. These were Shaq's idiots. You need people like me.
What shocks me all the time, people will look at that and they say, oh, that's just crazy conspiracy theory. It might be conspiracy, but it's not a theory. But that doesn't question you that someone tweeted in 2012 that's how he would die, and that in 2017 it was a cartoon animation, and that's exactly how it happened. That to me, that's crazy. So this is Kobe, 2024. A lot of things. China. This is the year of the dragon, and crude oil prices soar today on New York's kickoff, which means eventually gas prices are going to rise again. Tensions escalate in the Red Sea between the U.S. and Iran. I told you all on last night live stream that VeChain will be a big part of that, the VeChain crypto. Um, and again, you know, Kobe had ties to the pharmaceutical that they was using the Black Mamba as a brand. This very expensive pharmaceutical company, and the medical symbol or logo is a snake around a staff, right? Where Kobe is the Black Mamba snake. And so this crypto is on the Web3. If you don't know what Web3 is, here's an illustration. Web1 was AOL. You know, that was a slow dial up. When we and AOL logo is also a logo of an all-seeing eye, right? It's a pyramid just like you have on a dollar with the all-seeing eye. There was the slow dial-up internet speed, right? I'll show you all that in a few minutes. Then it went to Web 2 where people can now get apps and applications on their phone and faster internet speed. Well, now we're going to Web 3 and everything was more social. Web 1 was like Amazon shopping to launch that, Apple smartphones, Androids. Then it went to Facebook, social media, TikTok, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter. And now we're moving into Shiba Inu, Uniswap, all these Web3 technology in the crypto world. That's Kobe's signature, much like the staff in the medical field with the snake. And then you have the 24, the snake as well. And this symbol again. Now, Cosmos, I went over this last night. You can watch last night live streams, is the Atmos. The Simpsons have this on Cosmos. They have this on their jerseys on the Simpsons episode. And this is the logo that's on the Phoenix 1988 Economist magazine that said we will change to a new world currency. This was predicted, or as you all like to say, planned in 1988. So if they are planning years and years before you, why aren't you planning and preparing? Don't just talk about they planning, you plan too. Don't just talk about what they are doing. Tell me what you are doing. That's the part that upset me. People want to be intellectuals, but they don't want to be activists. Ooh, that was a mic drop. I need to put that in a quote somewhere. So many people want to be intellectuals and not activists. I would rather be the person in school that made, as Robert Kiyosaki has this book, the best-selling author of the #1 personal finance book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I would rather be the C student in school, right? That has the A students working for me. You rather be smart or you want to be rich? You can be both, but believe it or not, most people would rather be smart. And they want to impose their knowledge on people that don't even care to hear it. Then they come back and tell me my family think I'm crazy because I'm telling them about what's going to happen in the Illuminati and they won't listen. And then I ask them, well, are you crazy? Because why are you talking to people that don't listen? They don't believe in what you believe in. So why are you still having conversation with them? Insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. And you all, I'm saying this with passion, but I'm saying it with love. As Michael Jackson would say, with love. Like, why are you trying to convince somebody? And you know why they don't listen to you? It's because they don't see the results in your own life. That's why they don't listen. They don't see the evidence. When you show the evidence that having this knowledge is powerful, you don't even have to talk to them about it. They'll come to you. They're asking themselves, what's the benefit of me having this knowledge if I'm going to live a life like yours? Yes, Adam is at 11:11, Ryan. Thank you. And I love you all, but hey, sometimes I got to give it to you straight. No chase. No chase. Straight, no chase. So this is the one coin for them all on November the 17th during the bull run 2021. It increased 2,000.6% return. It is about to be added to Solana. If you know anything about Solana, Solana has did 100x. And the Ethereum, which is the second largest crypto under Bitcoin network. It hit 47 cents then. It's under that amount now. And this is before it was even added to Solana. So, and Ethereum. So people, this is a gem, an altcoin gem. It has a low market cap, which means the more money go into it, the more it's going to grow. This crypto is like finding the next Solana or Casper. I hope you know what that is. It's 75,000 tokens per second. The speed and the transaction cost is almost free because a lot of these cryptos, you all, they are slow in speed. They're old. They're outdated. Bitcoin's been around since 2009. Put it on the shirt. Pauletta, type that in for me again because just that quick, I forgot it. I promise you I have. Please type it for me. I have to go back and watch my own replay because I just be saying things. And my cousin asked me once. She said, "I'm going to make that one of my affirmations." What did you just say? We was on the phone talking. I said, "Honey, I forgot. I was just flowing." And we had to go back revisit what I said. So this is the 1988 Economist magazine. At least on here I can watch my replay. Right? Says, "Get ready for a new world currency." And I was telling people, I thought this was Stellar too. I thought this was the logo for XLM Stellar. But I just showed you all Cosmos. This is Cosmos on this. This is the Phoenix. The Phoenix represents XRP. The fire represents cash, the United States government. The N of paper money. 2018. You all, what happened right after 2018? Come on now. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me straight, no chaser. What happened right after 2018? So this is Cosmos. The gold chain around the neck is gold, physical gold. 10 Phoenix. Now I'm not thinking that this is saying that XRP is going to go to $10, but if it does, it's still gonna make a lot of people rich, right? Inflation is too high to be a poor righteous teacher. Oh, Ryan, that's good too. That is good. I think I said most people want to be intellectualists instead of activists. But I go back and watch this, right? Yeah, most people rather be smart than rich. This was the AOL I was telling you about, well worn. This doesn't give this the one I want to show you. That one looks more like the all seeing eye. This is what the pyramid on the back of your cash dollars and cash money, and the pyramid is. The pyramid, ancient Egyptians represents the all seeing eye. America's online community AOL, but this is a global financial system reset. Okay, this is what the crypto market looks like as of right now. Because I always tie this back into crypto because most people don't know they're living in the matrix, and you need to get out of these financial, these Federal Reserve notes. Federal Reserve notes only discharge debts, people. They do not pay debt. By using Federal Reserve note, a debt is not paid. It's simply transferred to someone else. And this is why people never get out the rat race, because they never get assets. They only work for cash. Rich people, this is a quote by Robert Kiyosaki, rich people do not work for money. Now, they may make money, but they work to convert that money into assets. They work to gain assets. Rich people do not work for money. So we have Bitcoin 45,000, Ethereum hit 2,400. H bar, Simpsons predicted this as well. H bar, ICP, this is Internet Protocol, you all. This may be the new AOL. It was at $400 in 2021. It's at 14 now. I've always been told history may not repeat itself, but it often rhymes, right? So I definitely got some ICP. And if you was in 2021 bull run, and maybe, if you held on to your crypto, don't worry, it's coming again. It's coming back bigger and better if you held on to your assets and then cash out. If you did cash out, it's okay. You have a second opportunity. Because a lot of these things went on sale. But this time, with World War III brewing, with the monetary system, presidential elections, I think Donald Trump will win presidency, and he's a crypto person. By the fall of next year, you're going to see, this year. I'm so used to 2023. By this year fall, you're going to see a collapse in this financial system. You can mark my words for that. So I'm logging off. You want to get out the matrix financially, right? Convert your cash into assets. Real estate, that's why it's called real estate, because it's real. Land, the Bible tells you all the assets. The Tower of Babel tells you about a different frequency, a different tower. Genesis 11, that's one of the reasons I do 11:11. It's a global change. It's like Genesis 11, right? Okay, you all, logging off. The live stream starts buffering when you speak on certain topics. I believe that. It's really nothing I can do. I've upgraded my internet to the best high speed I can get. Yeah, but you all never did answer what happened after 2018. But I'm not even gonna say that because then my video won't even get pushed for views if I even mention it, right? I know, so just try to listen to my voice and put the pieces of the puzzles together, right? You all have a great remaining of your day. Queen out.